Vampire needs. We have blood now. Drink, my friend, drink. Do another fortress immediately. Sure. We didn't have any injuries, right? It was a super clean fortress, 2 attempts. Crit awareness. Well, I mean, that's okay. So, sometimes you don't get the backstabs, right? And if you backstab, you get to keep your crits. So you start with triple crits, critical strikes, at the start of combat. And if you backstab, you get to keep them. And you can have 3 attacks, where you don't need backstabs to apply bleeding. It's not terrible. Could have been better, but we take it, we take it. Right, what do we have? Berserk is otherwise very good to make into vamp, yeah. Yeah, outside of Berserk Duelist. Berserk Duelist is such a double-edged sword. Why is Axeman superior to Berserk? It's just Berserker needs a lot of support. Berserker can be strong, but he needs a lot of support around him. Like a priest, he needs aegis or needs a guardian to shield him or stuff like that. We have none of that. He's just on his own, and he hits people and they hit him back, and in the late game he cannot sustain that. He hits them once and then he's out of the fight. And he just stands in the corner and is sad. Yeah, you cannot trade attack for attack, that's true. It wouldn't trigger on charge? Maybe with Blood Curse too. Good luck, good luck sustaining hits, like actually surviving hits with Blood Curse too though. That's minus 30%. That's pretty tough to do. Alright, so we still have Thorns. This map layout is pretty tough for mostly because of oil reasons. You do not have a lot of room on this map, so you kind of have to stay here. If you go over here, you get, first of all, oil all over you, and you also get cut off from your team once they come down, and it's usually pretty bad. So the best is to stand around here and dance around, but you have a lot of spikes, and they have a lot of range. So the marksman usually goes here, and then you need to outrange him, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles. So you actually have to stand back here for the marksman to come down, if you don't have someone to throw him off or something, or if you cannot bait him down for a low HP unit. So it's pretty tough to get them down. And if you stand back here, there's gonna be oil all over you, right? It's just space reasons because why this map is hard. If I had no spikes here and maybe 2 tiles more or something, this map would be very easy. But how it is, it's pretty hard. And we also have the additional bleeding spikes here, which could be problematic. So how do we want to play this? They only have 1 marksman. He's not a redhead, which is good. There are no elites on the field, which is helpful. We can contain here. No, I think we contain this one, right? This is pretty easy to do. We need 4 traps, yeah. And then we play around this side, I guess, like here, because hooks can be really good here, and those will be shut off by spikes really soon. Those 2 entrances. This already is, and this will be. So they bleed once they come down. That's not bad. Maybe we have to shut this off too, with 2 traps. I think we start with that. Yeah. So thorns will not grow onto special tiles. They will not grow onto other other spikes. They will not grow onto barricades or anything, of course. They will not grow onto tiles where you stand on, and they will also not grow onto tiles where you throw traps on. So for this one, you can just place a trap here and a trap here, and then it will never grow. So you're safe from bleeding spikes here. And you can shut this off with 4 traps, or even 2, right? Because it will not grow out here. We only need 2 here. So that's good. So after his second turn, he contained both of those, so they will not grow in our back. And we want those to grow, so those entrances are all spikes eventually, and they have to go through and bleed. And we only control this one then, is the idea. And we see how far we get. Maybe we have to retreat once. It's entirely possible. So let's do it. He starts here. He starts a bit over, because he will move after. And who's gonna do the pulling? Usually I want the assassin to do the pulling, but I think it's footman here, because he's busy. Busy. Such a busy bee. And now this can't grow anymore, and I can go here next turn. This one cannot grow anymore. You have to make sure not to stand next to them, because when oil gets splashed and it goes onto this tile, it overrides the trap. And once the oil is gone, it can grow out again, because the trap will be gone. Also, if enemies walk over your traps, they're obviously gone, and you have to replace them if you want to keep it up. Can't think of a game where a berserker is good except maybe a berserker assassin in D&D. Yeah, I think it's more of a difficulty thing, right? Because they just go head to head with the enemy and don't care about getting hit. But as soon as you go to really high difficulties, the enemies just hit so hard that it's no longer sustainable. So this tile is the only one we can ram him into. We actually have to go here and set up for him, which you will see in a second, and we cannot dance him because of this. He just has to deal with it. So if you go here and ram him, you can see the indicator going up here, which is the angle you get here. So you ram him up here. But if you go back to this tile, you straighten out the angle, and now you can ram him into the pit, as you can see on the indicator here. He will go down in the pit and not up here, which is why we had to swap him, because if he were to go here, he was engaged in melee. If the footman would stand here, and he goes here, he is engaged in melee. He cannot move anymore. As soon as you enter melee zone on your turn, you cannot make any more moves. So he would have to go around 1, 2, 3, and he would only be able to go here, which we saw was not enough, because it would only bash him up there, or ram him up there. So we actually had to go here with the assassin to swap him over, just to give him more room and not be engaged, and so he can go to the tile he wanted to and do this. And also he's in a good position to pull more now, which is nice, and he just has to eat the 15. There's nothing you can do. Right, they're coming. And we back off here. 3 pulling, that's nice. We take those. Also, he didn't finish this, right? Because, yeah. He should still do this. Well, we can technically dance this if we wanted to, but we cannot get out, really. Nah, I think he takes the 15 here. It's fine for now. He's pretty vulnerable to oil here. Maybe he should go here. Yeah, he probably should go here. And he finishes this off. Right. Deja vu, you explained the same RAM last stream, I watched. I'm sorry. At some point I'm gonna repeat myself, right? But it's just something that was not obvious to me, and it took me a really long time to find out how to ram correctly and get the right angle. So it's just something I tend to share a lot, just because it was hard for me too. I'm trying not to repeat myself, but sometimes it happens. What do we do here? He's gonna go after him, most likely. Yeah, he's gonna try to go here. We can't really go in here, because then the oil will throw at us and will disable the traps. Well, we can go here, actually, because the chances are high that the thorns will get overridden. So let's try this. Let's see. Yeah. So the thorns are gone now, so we don't have to be concerned about this anymore, at least. We just take this. But I suspect he will still go after him. Maybe. We have a bleeding, and we have berserk. Or murdering sense, rather. I think we should do this. He just dies here. Now we are in a really bad spot for the oil, which will go in 15. Okay, so we have enough time to split it up. It's fine, I just got confused for a second. Yeah, déjà vus are really weird, aren't they? Just prepare a PowerPoint and link it. I actually have a oil guide on YouTube. Just today, I think. I plan to do more of those, just so I can refer to them. He cannot reach here, so we probably have to help him. He can do it, so he's dealt with. But then he's pretty vulnerable, and will get hit twice. Once from this guy, and he has a free shot on whoever. He's not hurting very much yet, but he's getting kind of low. We don't have any sustain. Let's see if we can bait the shot here with him. He's not very useful, so the most useful thing he can do is get shot in the face by an arrow, I guess. Let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. And he sets him up here. We can go here, and he wants to be around here. Depending on what he does, either go here, we cannot pull him. But if he goes here, we can go up here and pull him down and deal with him. So he wants to be around here, I think. Didn't go forward. That's fair. We can go here and throw him if we wanted to. We can also grab him, which is much better. So how far can we grab him? 4? I think we set up a grab for him. Yeah. Actually do a trap grab here. Hang on. We need to swap him out first because he doesn't get his turn. Do this, set up a trap here. And he goes here, now he grabs him. And this is grab and die for everyone who hasn't seen this combo. I just discovered it. And the credit goes to Necros in the chat, who discovered this for me. This is grab and die. You grab them, and if they get grabbed, everyone in range gets a free attack. And you have an assassin's mark here, which means everyone in range gets a free attack. So we grab him here, we just hit him a bunch. There's the assassin's mark assist, and then they all scream, "Let me kill him," which is like the attack from the grab and die, right? So that's the setup, and he's slowed super heavily because we had a mold in there, and we had backstabs and stuff. Just take him out here. Stupid archer. Feels good about being an archer. We can go here. It gives us backstabs. Holy shit. And we can move after. Use lead on any attacker and you get 3? Yeah, that would be even better, but who survives that, right? You're gonna be a streamer, so repetition is on the menu. Yeah, that's fair. Except you wanna be like, I've made a video. I mean, I'm okay with explaining stuff, like repeating stuff occasionally. It's just, if it gets really long, it's probably better to have a video. Just to not say the same things like the same 15-minute long things like 10 times a day or something. So I figured eventually I should do some right. That's all we have except him up there. We still back up here. But he didn't die of false advertising. Well, he almost died. Also, do you really expect solid advertising from a beast? Can you... whoops. Can you really trust a beast? Ouch. He goes in 6. Kinda have to save him now, huh? I think we don't have an angle here. If we go here and swap, it should ram him up there. But that's still good enough, right? Because he goes after him and he can back off. And we saved him from this attack. Which would not kill him. No, it would kill him. Okay. So it would be helpful not to have it. But it will pull him up there. So I'm down somewhere. Revitalizing. He was the only target here. Everyone else was engaged in melee and was not a target for the oil guy. So it had to go on him. Which is why he was pretty safe there. We'll go here now, that's fine. I think we can ram him into this pit. It didn't even break armor, huh? Ouch. I think to play it safe we should actually retreat here. Not sure yet. Smorg. That's bleeding on map 1 for you, on assassins. It's just super strong. So we go here to block him. He does not want to back off because he would have no way around. He does not want to go through because there's oil here. So he will just hit him instead here. And then give him time to get his turn and ram him in. So we actually hit this guy instead. Also, I should have let the assassin stand next to me. Because I will get hit next turn and everyone around me gets painful healing. Like this guy will heal off of me. So, if I had played it better, I think there was a way to let the assassin stand next to me. But I'm not perfect. He goes 4th, he goes 5th. We just go and disable. How much does he hit for? 130. How long can we sustain this? How many people do we need? If he goes up here, it's pretty much committed. With only him pretty low. Does he die to 1 oil? Yeah. 1 oil tile kills him, huh? But does it have spreadsheets? Have you played Banner Saga Trilogy? No, I haven't. But I've heard good things about it. Only because it has 6 legs and a chain. So, could you transform a Necro X-Men and have an engagement strike, disengagement ram? Maybe, I don't know. But you can use charge multiple times with disengagement. You want to talk to Soma about this? He just did a run. Like, Necro X-Men transformed into Vampire is his favorite unit. He does it all the time. And he usually gives them Birdie and Tyrant criticals. So he jumps around very often because he has Birdie. And then he slows everyone. Which is pretty hilarious. If you haven't watched it, highly recommend. How much stam do we have? There's a 9. Let's do this. Let's do a middle ground. Where he kind of goes up there, but still hits him. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. They stole this guy, huh? Yeah, I think this is way too greedy. We should get out of here and retreat once more. We're so close to so many injuries. It's kind of ridiculous. Has he even survived this? How much did he take? 121? Yeah. I think we do this. So he can do this swap. Shit. Oof. It's not a range, right? Ah, we don't have enough. It's okay, he survives it. We're out as soon as the monk goes, so it should be fine here. Stormus and Lafeld. Who are those? He also isn't? That's fair. Are we good? We're good. Alright. Take 57 trillium in a day, or 2 days, to prevent injuries. I think that's a fair deal. We could have probably done it in one attempt, but would have been super close. For me, that was a bunny. Necros are bloodless, how do they become vamps? I don't know. But vampires are also bloodless. So, what happens to all the blood they are sucking if they are bloodless themselves? I don't understand that either. We just go up here, right? It's just this one guy. Still spread out a little for all reasons. Here, rend his armor. Okay, that rendered his armor. Not so bad. Beating her. Kind of unlucky spikes there. Well, what can you do? We stay out of range. His range is 4. We stand here. Should have thrown a spike trap there. Not a spike trap, an assassin's mark there. Just to block the tile. Since we have the stamina. But it should be fine either way. But it could have saved us a bleeding. Alright. The oil is disabled now, so we don't have to worry about it anymore. He cannot sustain too much here though. Yeah. But we can fuck. The beast goes next, right? We can just move through this like this. Hopefully he doesn't snipe them. That would be really unfortunate if he dies here. How much stam do we have? Duel the catapult? Sure. Oof, nice, you blocked it. You can swap over spikes without incurring bleeding again. But the first one we had to take. Alright, cool. We should blame Soma? Yeah, always blame Soma. There's a typo at the first line, really? Oh man, feels bad. Hey, you said something yesterday about the vampire page, and there were two things. And the first one was that the guys from the village don't take upkeep, and I added that. But I didn't remember the second one. Do you remember what the second one was, so I can add it too? A typo. That was kind of fitting, wasn't it? I think we take the stunning blow for the monk. I saw the monster heart came. I ask myself that every run. So, thick skin with the 15% is usually not worth picking up. Monster heart 25% is more interesting, and usually I debate if it's worth building one to like level 10 or as high as we can get. Because it's just useful on everyone. If someone dies, if you have a new recruit, if someone has a lot of absorptions, or for example, and you don't really have anything that fits them, Monster Heart always does. More HP, always good. So while it's not super strong, it's usually always good. It's just 88 essence, and it's a lot of essence to build this to a reasonable level. So I'm always on the fence about it. Let's do it. Nah, yeah, let's do it. We take a fortress, we gain a lot of essence here. This is another X-Man. And regeneration, hey, something useful. Nice. We put this on the assassin, for sure. He's our focus machine right now, and he gets us regen, which just means so much more healing, and also global removal of bleeding and poison, which is so strong. So this one you have on your focus bar, right? So you can use it whenever one of your characters has a turn. And if you have a priest, for example, who is in charge of removing bleeding and poison with a sacrifice, you not only have to have your priest's turn, and usually it doesn't line up because the priest gets really slow eventually until you spec him into agility. He also has to stand within 2 tiles of the target. So that's also a requirement. It's not always a problem, but sometimes it is. And regeneration is just global on everyone's turn. So as soon as one of your characters has a turn, you can use it, and you can remove poison on anyone you want and give them a heal. So that's really strong. Wants to go to 92. We don't have a good target for life stones yet. I think it's fun. He wants some more agility. Actually, I think the grab and die and assassin's mark combo is a real thing. And he actually wants to be able to grab and die and then attack. Because the assassin's mark also gives him an attack. And that's 90 stamina, and I can see situations where we want to do this all game, like all day, every turn, and then he needs a lot more stam than this, and he also wants to be faster, right? But he's missing a lot of stuff, so we'll see. We can throw a monster heart in someone. Let's just... You have an open spot, you throw a monster heart in, you're always happy. This is why I like this mutator, sometimes. It's just a huge life essence sink, and you have more important things. It's not super high priority, it's just something you pick up when you overflow an essence, and it's always good. So, sometimes I build it, sometimes I don't. It also depends on the game. Life stones you don't want to use on static mutators, So right now we only have static ones, which only give us max HP. Lately I save it exclusively for Flesh Eater, just because Flesh Eater is probably the best mutator right now. Ambush Alchemist, sure, we do that. Would always take it if it was 44 essence. 88 is a bit rough, yeah. Had it on my Urtuk Warmonk together with Improviser, which was pretty much unkillable. You mean the regen? Yeah, it's really good. And I hope this is a way we can scale the assassin into the later stages of the game, once people start to become immune to bleeding. So he doesn't do much damage anymore. He just specs into agility, enough stamina, enough vitality to survive, and then concentration. And he also wears Brilliant Mind. And then he just uses tiring criticals to slow them down. And he also has like a focus mutator that's really useful to us. And he generates this a bunch because he attacks so many times. Oops. He attacks so many times, and he has high concentration. So he's basically just a focus bot at this point. I really like Vigorous, yeah, me too. The first tick of second turn heal ticks if you attack didn't end the turn. Yeah, if you have Berserk, for example, or you have Murdering Sense. I noticed that too. I like Vigorous. I think it's really underrated. We can throw him here. Oh my god, it's a barricade. Why does it always have to be a barricade? We can undo and throw him here. But then he rams us in, so we don't want to do that. He goes on 3, that's bait. Well, unlucky. He goes here and rams us then. And then we go here and flip him. So actually this is fine, right? Let's go here. He rams us, he stands here. This is a barricade again, fuck. I keep forgetting. Sure. Just do this, it's fine. Get our kill here. Get Murderous. Get on him. Ambush Alchemist is really high value. We get a Focus Mutator. The same one we just got for defeating the Fortress. So it's just a really solid reward. You usually only get for hard fights, but this fight is fairly easy, if we're being honest. Bonked. What we still need to pick up is a damage carry, like someone who actually deals damage. We tried it with Blood Knight a bunch, with Urtuk Blood Knight. Did not work out very well. He did stuff, it's just he's super slow, doesn't do much for most of the game. He has no reflexive. He has no reflexive, okay. And eventually he's good. But he just takes a long time. Rip this guy. I really want to make critical Counter-Strike good. It is good on Valdo Shield Bearers. Who would have thought? Map generator trolls you mean with this? Yeah. It's only our people, right? Yeah. We just have to keep this guy alive for the reward. We don't care about the others. So... does not have anything, right? Did he just block my ram tile? Wow, what a hero. We do it this way because here we would be engaged in melee, and this way we can walk around. We could do this because Assassin has 4 movements. We really want to do this because we bleed him like crazy. Also remove this bleeding, just because we can. And also we can walk away after, so he's not in any danger. And usually I would have walked around and rammed him in, but he's being stupid. So let's do this instead, I guess. That was bleeding, that was not me. The bleeding was stacked up so high from the assassin. He did only 69 damage, and the bleeding did 500 damage. So that had nothing to do with his attack. It was just proccing the bleeding, which stacks up, and for every stack you do 10% of max HP, and he had a bunch of stacks. You can go here. Sure, that's fine. Same here. He does not have any strength, right? He just does bleeding damage. So hits him for 82, receives 180, 107, yeah. And it does not matter how high their HP is either, because it's percent based, which is really nice. But eventually everyone becomes immune to bleeding. Actually everyone. Necros you fight, they are bloodless. They are literally immune to bleeding. And Baldos are super armored, most of them, except assassins. Got him. So if you level up in Verbis form, would you skip a trait you would learn in human form? No, you don't. You still get them. Well, I'm not sure if I... No, I think you still get them. I had Verbeast Assassin with Murdering Sense, and eventually he would get Throat Cutter. So he still got it, but I'm not 100% which form he was when leveling up. But I'm pretty sure he still gets it. That's unfortunate, that's Aegis. It's probably one of the strongest mutators in the game, but it's banned from our run. If you haven't seen it yet, we can... check out the rules we set for ourselves here on the challenge command. Those are all the things we banned from the run because they carried the previous run. So every time we won basically, the things that carried us got banned. And eventually we ended here, where we play with low tier units and everything OP is banned and we die a bunch. And are happy about it, I guess. Take a stalwart. Bloodlust isn't bad, but we don't have someone who gets a lot of killing blows. We don't have someone who smokes a lot, we just have bleeding damage. Bleeding doesn't count for a kill. It doesn't give you stacks on Battle Hardened or Siphon Power or something. And I'm pretty sure it also doesn't trigger Bloodlust. So, it's not really good. Recovering criticals I tried to make work for a while, but it's just not good enough. It scales really well, but if you really want something like this, just get Vigorous. It's just better. And take a Stalwart. Bounty Hunters. Alright, so we have a Flesh Eater. We just upgrade it, it's a no-brainer. Flesh Eater 5. And... goes to Pistol. We don't have a carrier for it right now. he wants more agility, he also needs some HP, some strength. I guess agility for now. He wants to get going on absorbing stalwart. He has triple absorptions. So he wants to get going on light-footed stalwart. And we probably want improviser on pistol now, since he's generating so much. And he also wants to apply it to himself then. He's a focus machine. Give him some HP because he has Brilliant Mind, which reduces it by a lot. Give it to him then, again. Sure. Crit awareness. That's interesting. So he has crit awareness already. We could run crit awareness on him. So Aegis has to go. It's banned. We could use crit awareness on him and just stun for the first 3 hits we do, which would be probably the most beneficial thing. We could also use it on him and bleed for the first crits we do. That's also a thing. He's kind of full on stuff, so we don't want to drop Stunning Blow or Lightfoot. And Fast Thinker and Rend Armor we can use on anyone, but he has the worst Focus ability and Confuse. The base ability is just useless. So we want to leave everything on him. So I think we just give Crit Awareness to him. That's a pretty interesting one. Should we give him Flesh Eater? Here, have a Flesh Eater. You will not do anything with it, but have one. He's a level. Recovering crits is a good one? Really? I just thought, yeah, Vigorous is just better for me. Juicy 57 damage crits. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we give it to him just for the sustain, but yeah, you know, yeah, give it to him. It's just wasted on him, right? He still has an Iron Greatsword, by the way, and he has a Rusty -2 Steel Axe, and he has an Iron Billhook. He has a Masterful Steel Sword, which is alright, but has no mutator, obviously, and we have a Silver Maul, and the other weapons are just terrible. Oh, we have a Steel Billhook. Huh. I think we keep this one, because once he transformed, he starts with a Rusty Iron Billhook, I think, which is even worse than an Iron one. Werbeast here. Enemy fort. Troubled Merc. We want enemy fort. This is pretty free. With a bunch of spikes behind us. I always use Flesh Eater on my hookers. That sounds so weird. This whole sentence sounds somehow wrong. We can just start here, right? We don't have to go over. The only reason to go over there is for because of the oil. But there is no oil on this map because it's an enemy fortification quest. And luckily he doesn't have... Oh my god, 2 of them? None of them has Round Strike? Wow. Those are chumps. I haven't heard about the Round Strike club. Oh my god. What are you doing? Sounds like some satanic sex cult. Yeah, it seemed wrong. I don't know. We stay here. He stays over. He can just hook through this cell. He stays a bit back here. Like this. And he pulls. Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. He cannot get caught by him. He just slows him and he doesn't get away and takes a bunch of damage. Let's try this, I think. Then he would ram him, huh? Let's try this first. Maybe it's enough. Let's see. Nice. Okay. I can stand here. We have to be careful because it's a warlord. He can ram us into bits. This should be fine. This is fine too. We're out of range. Alright. They're both dead. Nice. Got him. Are they all coming, or is it just this one? They're all coming. So we don't have to do anything. Just sit back. I think he blocks here. He will go 1, 2, 3 and end up here, which would need attention from someone down here. But if we just stop him here, we can hook him in next turn, which would make things a lot easier. And it's just one hit he takes, and he doesn't do anything. He's just there to take hits to his face, right? Good job. You did wonderfully. Proud of you. Only 3 left. He has so much damage. It's ridiculous. Ouch. Red has hurt though. No joke. It wasn't 4. Holy fuck. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We do this. And then he can swap with him. He goes back a little. So he can swap with him, and we have a projectiles blocker in front, which gives him even more safety, like this. We back off a little more. Just to let them come in here, and they don't back off to the high ground again. Stupid archers. Did you watch your positioning though? I don't think you did. Alright. Madison. There's another fast thinker. Nice. And hastening. Do we have hastening yet? No. Huh. He doesn't really have room for hastening, does he? I think he just absorbs Brilliant Mind, to be honest. Like straight up. He wants to keep it forever, right? So why wouldn't he? Hey, you got a rare silver greatsword. And you get something fancy too. Is it your birthday? No. You get something anyways. Kind of have to take Fast Thinker. They're both good for Assassin. He just doesn't have any spots left. Eventually he will. I think it's good to have one of each just lying around. Just so we can swap to Poison if we really need it. Or once Bleeding is no longer happening, then we can switch to Hastening or something. Who gets Fast Thinker? We have one Fast Thinker active. I think his challenge Fast Thinker would be good. But then we would have to get rid of Flesh Eater. How about Reju Fast Thinker? It's not terrible. He would also want it, but he has no space. Get a Reju, yes. Here, have an Agile. Be useless more often. Flash Eater is also one of the few adjacent things which trigger an elevation difference by 2+. That's true. It also triggers if you throw them into pits. Like, there's a lot of elevation difference, but it still triggers. Berserker, you say? Well, those two are banned by rules. We need one more bleeding. Nah, we're pretty low. I think one bleeding is enough. Earthquakes, yeah. I like to play with earthquakes. Earthquakes are pretty fun. Well, in-game anyways. Alright. We cleaned out a lot of the map already and it's day 36. Pretty decent speed. How many villages now? We have 2 fortresses and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not bad. Bounty hunters are coming. We have to keep that in mind, but you have 10 days until they're here. Trouble. Well, we don't do this. There's a javelin here which we cannot pick. Famous soldier. Famous soldier is usually well, famous soldier is a random human class, and if they are capable of having the soldier perk, they will have it. So 3 classes can have them, which is spearman, guardian, and footman. Basically, all the armored human classes can have the soldier perk, which just gives them plus 40% armor if it's stacked up. So for stacking up, you need to take a bunch of hits in the same fight, and it has to deal more than 15% of your health, and the armor has to hold. So you can stack it up pretty easily in the right circumstances, and then it's just a better unit than the other ones without it. He just has bonus plus 40% armor for no reason. Earthquakes are fun. I mean, those earthquakes in-game are fun, yeah. Oh, it couldn't be avoided. Emma is transformed into a vampire. So, when did we start it? I think it was on day 19, right? I think I remember something vaguely about day 19. When he was infected. So it's 21 days. So that would be 3 weeks. Oh no! Couldn't be avoided, you say? He has to use a better weapon now, you say? That's too bad. Alright. So, he's a lesser vampire now, which means he has a better weapon. He got rid of his stupid axe, but he kept all his stuff. So, he still shreds armor, which is the most important thing. We really want him to shred armor. And then he has a like a billhook will eventually have 200 plus % armor shatter. And we can even give him rend armor. This is why we have fast thinker rend armor. So he doesn't need a bunch of damage because he has so many multipliers on armor damage. He just charges around and one-shots every armor, which is gonna be really important against swampers, for example. So we just have this one unit who is only doing armor damage. Like he cannot do anything else, but he takes care of every armor, and he will be really strong in Baldur fights and really weak in necro fights. So probably in the final lineup we want a replacement for him who is good against unarmored units, who just does a bunch of damage against unarmored, which we don't know yet what we'll get, but we want to sub him out in necro fights, I think, and just keep him in Baldur fights is the idea. He also has super healing now, so he heals every 4 days. We don't care about him dying as much. He has Leech, which won't do much, Hastening crits, which is nice, and Bloodless, which is really good. And those are the 4 traits you gain when you transform into a vampire. And those are the 2 perks. This is basically, he drinks blood, and if he doesn't get blood, he bites people. And this is heals every 4 days. The 4 days are world map days, you can track them. They are divisible by 4. So he heals on day 40, and the next healing is not 4 days from his injury, but it's exactly on day 44. So if you get injured on day 43, and then the day rolls over, he's immediately healed again. But if you get injured on day 45 then, it takes 3 more days until he gets healed. I mean at the famous soldiers level? Ah yeah, they get, yeah, that's true. They have brothers in arms. I would use the vamp way more if they weren't so ugly. Hey, he has feelings, you know? And he's smiling, look at this beautiful smile. I really don't like that model. Feels bad. He's trying. So we don't want this, I don't think. We don't have anything. They cannot offer us any unit we want. Famous weaponsmith. Hmm. There's another scavenger fortress, I guess. Yeah, bounty hunters. Hidden cave. It's just to a village here. We still have those spikes? Those spikes have been here forever, haven't they? We still want to fight around pits, I think. Down here wouldn't be terrible. Here, probably. Maybe here. This is a no-go. This is okay. I think here is fine. Look at him. He's in his final form now. Beautiful X-Man, transformed into vampire. For the good of the company, he took a bite to the neck, and came out pretty in the end. Or so they say. Everyone is affirmative, you know. Everyone is, no, you look great, you look great. Keep at it. Didn't really position correctly there. Doesn't really matter. Whatever. Did not even matter. So is having only 5 guys also part of the challenge? No, it's not. I can have 6 guys, I can have as many as I want. It's just, I did this a bunch of times already. It's like, I don't know, I don't count anymore which attempt this is. But it's getting really hard because all the good stuff is banned. So I tried many different things, and this time around we're trying to not recruit anyone we can, but just people we actually want to keep and are good. Because every person you go, after 6 it doesn't matter, but before 6 every person you add to your team adds to the world map scaling. So the fights you take, the villages and the quests and stuff, they all get more people added. They have the same strength as they would, but if you have 3 people, there are way less. And if you have 6 people, there are way more. So what we're trying is just adding someone who actually adds value to the team. I think everyone here adds something. He's like Armor Dude, he's Jumpy Monk, he's our damage, and he's like tanky hooker guy, and he is our only armor. So everyone has a reason to be in this team, and we just don't add anyone who does not have a reason to be here, just because it would make fights harder and wouldn't give us anything. It's like 50% neck and 50% belly. So only value units like X-Men, exactly. The most value unit ever. Have you ever seen so much value in a single unit? He still has Lightfoot, right? Ah, he has Lightfoot by default. See how good he is? He has Lightfoot by default. Look at his damage. He almost hit him for... for... I don't know. What does he hit for? It's for 67. Look at this upgrade. Bonk. He dies, right? 78, 5%. Yeah, he dies. So we don't care about him. We dance on him. He dies too. Oh, we don't need to go on him. Yeah, just take him out. He does have bash though, right? Yeah, but he's stalwart. He's stalwart, okay. So this is the reason why he's on the team. He has armor. He sees armor. He smashes armor. Simple as that. He does not do much damage, but he does a ridiculous amount of armor damage. What is he strong against? Polearms, right? He learned polearms from the guy, yeah. And was this bleeding? Holy fuck, I didn't even notice. Ah, that makes more sense. Imagine if engaging strike triggered bleeding. Yeah, that would be pretty nasty. Ow, he had a snipe ready. Here, have more healing. What do we do against him? We can just flip him here. Let's just do the old flipperoo. And he sees armor, he kills armor. So you can also just flip him in the trap, right? And you get 3 crits and then you stun him like this. Because he has stunning though. He still has Furious. Oh, yeah, right. He's dancing on us now. He's just a machine. He's just, here have regen, here have more regen. Do you need regen? Do you need rejuve? He generates so much focus, that's pretty hilarious. I like that. I think this is the way you scale them into the late game. Also, I should get Angel's Pacts, really. There's no reason not to have Angel's Pacts at this time of the playthrough. Hey, you want some more regen? Pretty strong, okay. I can feel the team coming together, kind of. It will fall off super hard once we cannot bleed anymore, but for now, pretty strong. Good at soldiers retreating. Ah, good point. Let me actually... hang on. Let me pull up my notes. Because last time I totally forgot. Let me write this down. So I don't forget this time. Loading sticky notes. Soldiers retreating. Right, got it. We'll edit later. Thank you. Weaponsmith, nah. Man, I hate this. Now we conquered the village, and because there's a group here, I cannot inspect it. I cannot search the site anymore. Now we have to fight them. I don't want to fight them. Ugh. Let's just wait one turn. We want to fight, nice. We want to fight bounty hunters here. What we get? Relic of Arariel. Giant's Heart. Not bad. It's a pretty good one. Who we give this to? Probably Werbeast. Werbeast has painful healing, so we can get more value out of painful healing. But the thing is, they will never hit him if he has so much HP. He doesn't need it. Maybe Assassin. Assassin has full slots, kind of. He needs all this stuff. He doesn't super need Improviser. How much HP do we have with this? 1000? That wouldn't be bad. Do overfocus abilities stay up in transformation? Guess so, but the ranged overfocus abilities aren't usable, right? I actually don't know. I think they are. So I did a run where I transformed. I started Revenant and I transformed a Valdor crossbow into a vampire, and I used armor piercing bolt and melee, and it pierced the armor. But I actually didn't check for. I think overfocus goes away too. I don't think I ever had the opportunity to use Devastating Shot. I think it goes away. But I'm not 100%. Oh, he needs the agility so badly. So does he. He also needs vitality really badly. He does not need strength. I figured. So he just one-shots armor regardless. He does only 67 damage, but he doesn't care. He gets rend armor, shred armor, and build hook. He just one-shots it anyways, and he's not there to do any more damage than that. So he just wants vitality and agility, and later on, if we can spare it, concentration. We would also like blood strength isn't really good on him, right? He has improviser by default, and improviser's blood strength is not really good, but blood strength itself is very good. Not right now though, because we don't have any user for it. I don't know who to give Giant's Heart though. Everyone is kind of full on stuff, which we really need. Outside of them, I don't want to give Giant's Heart to him, do I? 1700? So he can be useless and tank, I guess? Once all the armor is broken? I don't know. Give it to him? Maybe we can be more aggressive with the beast, but the beast most of the time wants to set up hooks anyways. I don't know. Nobody can spare a spot, so I guess here, have a Giant's Heart. Happy birthday. He even has agile. We could give him poisonous crits, just because he has crit awareness. Sure, have poisonous crits.